what if everything you've ever done for love, was it a lie? Not her lie, yours, your. Every rose, every candlelit dinner, every "will you marry me" wasn't romance, but programming. You thought it was love. You thought you were doing the right thing. Every bouquet, every date night, every time you got down on one knee, you weren't deceiving her. You were deceiving yourself. You've seen it before. A man trembling on one knee, holding out a ring worth thousands. She gasps. The crowd claps. Phone record. They call it beautiful. But look closer. His eyes are screaming, because at that moment, he's not celebrating love. He's gambling his soul. Here's the truth no one told you. That fear you feel, it's not butterflies. It's not romantic. It's programming. You weren't born thinking love means sacrifice. You were trained to give more than you get. Trained to think romance is your job, and hers is to receive. Trained to believe that if she leaves, it's your fault for not trying hard enough. But what if trying harder is exactly why she walked away? What if all those romantic gestures only made her lose respect for you? What if love today isn't love at all, but a system designed to drain you dry, emotionally, financially, spiritually? This isn't about blaming women. It's about exposing the game. Because you're not her partner. You're her subscription service. Romance, extraction, love, performance. And every moment you keep playing by the rules, the machine wins. But if you're ready to finally see it, really see it, then everything changes. Not just how you date, how you exist as a man. If you've ever felt like you gave your all and got nothing back, if you've ever heard "you're amazing" right before she left, if you've ever wondered why nice guys finish last, you're not broken, you've been played. Stay with me, because I'm about to show you the system, how it works, why it works, and how to break free. One romantic lie at a time. It always starts with applause. A man drops to one knee. A diamond ring catches the light. Strangers cheer. Phones go up. She gasps. She cries. She says yes. Everyone around smiles like they've just witnessed a miracle. But no one stops to ask the question that actually matters. Why does he need to prove himself? Why does she only need to say yes? We've been sold a fantasy. That love is a grand performance. That a man's devotion must be visible, measurable, and, most of all, expensive. Every movie, every ad, every pop song reinforces the same script. If you love her, show it. If you really love her, spend it. And if you don't, you're heartless. You're not serious. You don't deserve her. This isn't romance. This is coercion dressed as culture. Somewhere along the way, love stopped being mutual and started being transactional. He gives, she receives. He proves, she decides. He performs, she evaluates. But here's the twist nobody talks about. Most women never asked for any of this. They're reacting to a system that trains them, just like it trains you. They're told their worth lies in being chosen. You're told your worth lies in your ability to win her choice. And so, you dance, you pay, you plan, you pursue. Not because it's who you are, but because it's what you're expected to be. The worst part? You believe that all of this will eventually lead to real love. But what if it doesn't? What if the very thing you're doing to attract her is actually making her lose respect for you? What if the performance she applauds is also the reason she never sees you as a man she can truly desire. If that sounds harsh, good, because waking up from this fantasy isn't supposed to feel comfortable. It's supposed to snap you out of the role you've been cast in. You weren't born to be a performer. You were born to be a man. Have you ever felt like being romantic only made her colder? We've been lied to about what romance really is. They told us it was about feelings, about flowers, about making her feel special. They said a real man shows love through action, through gifts, through selfless devotion. And we believed it because we wanted it to be true. But what if romance has never been about her feelings at all? What if it was built to fix a problem that only men face? Powerlessness. Let's go back, far before Netflix and Valentine's Day. In ancient times, men didn't woo women with poetry or candlelit dinners. They didn't get down on one knee. They didn't have to. The kings, the warriors, the landowners, those men didn't beg for attention. They attracted it. They had power. And power always attracted options. Women didn't chase sonnets. They chose survival, security, status, stability. And in a brutal world, those things mattered more than charm. But then, something changed. As more men were locked out of the power game, they had to invent a new strategy. If you couldn't compete with land, armies, or legacy, maybe you could compete with feelings. That's how romance was born, not as an act of love, but as a workaround. It was a marketing trick, a way for low-status men to make themselves seem valuable, without actually being valuable in the traditional sense. Offer attention, offer poetry, offer adoration. Frame those things as real love. And suddenly, the man with nothing becomes the moral superior. While the man with everything, he's the cold, arrogant villain who doesn't get it. It flipped the narrative. The provider became the problem. The emotional guy became the prize. Romance didn't empower women. It empowered the men who couldn't compete with power. And we've been playing by those rules ever since. Every time you hear, "It's the thought that counts," remember where that thought came from. It came from a system designed to make you feel worthy without actually being competitive. It's not wrong to be thoughtful, but it's deadly to believe that thoughtfulness alone is enough. Because women still choose power. They still respond to strength, competence, and presence. And no bouquet in the world can replace that. If romance was built to cover weakness, then maybe the strongest thing a man can do is stop hiding behind it. Modern romance doesn't run on love. It runs on leverage. And in that equation, most men are playing from a deficit they don't even realize they have. Here's how the trap is set. How that ancient workaround became your daily reality. From the moment you're old enough to notice girls, you're taught one thing. If you want her, you have to earn her. Not through who you are, but through what you can do for her. Be nice. Be generous. Be thoughtful. Make her feel special. Go the extra mile. But the extra mile is always moving. The more you give, the more you're expected to give. The more you perform, the more that performance becomes your baseline. And before you know it, your value is no longer tied to your presence. It's tied to your production. You don't just love her, you prove it. Daily, visibly, expensively. And when you stop, you're not misunderstood. You're disposable. This system teaches men that love is earned through sacrifice, and the more you suffer, the more you deserve her. But here's the cruel twist. Suffering doesn't create attraction. It creates obligation. And no woman wants to feel obligated. She might appreciate what you do. She might say thank you. She might even stick around for a while. But appreciation is not desire. And without desire, you're not in a relationship. You're in a transaction. At first, you tell yourself it's working. She's texting back. She's showing interest. She's complimenting your effort. But deep down, something always feels one-sided. You're giving more, trying harder, planning every date, carrying the emotional weight. And yet, somehow, it still feels like she holds the power. Because she's the gatekeeper of intimacy, the one who gets to say yes or no. You're the applicant, the performer, the one still auditioning. You're not a boyfriend, you're a loyalty program. And love? It's just the reward points she redeems when convenient. Romance, as we've been taught, keeps men stuck in a game they can't win. A game where every win resets the scoreboard. Where doing more never makes her love you more, but doing less almost guarantees you lose. That's not love. That's performance anxiety. And the more you participate, the more invisible you become. Not because you're unworthy, but because you've trained her to only see your effort, not your essence. You were never supposed to compete for connection. You were supposed to command it. Not with your wallet, but with your presence. They told you romance is noble. They dressed it up in flowers and violins. They told you that effort equals love. That sacrifice means sincerity. They gave you rules, unspoken, but strictly enforced. Pay first. Plan everything. Apologize often. And if you ever question it, you're the problem. But let's be brutally honest. Most of what you believe about love didn't come from lived experience. It came from movies, from ads, from songs written by people more heartbroken than honest. Hollywood made the simp the hero, the guy who waits outside her window in the rain, the guy who chases, who pleads, who forgives anything, because that's what love does. And you believed it, not because it worked, but because it sounded beautiful. That's the trap. Romantic suffering has been turned into a virtue. The more you endure, the more deserving you're supposed to be. But attraction doesn't work that way. It never did. You don't gain a woman's respect by overextending. You don't create desire by outgiving her. And yet, the modern man has been sold a blueprint built on imbalance. One where he proves, and she observes. One where his role is to impress, and hers is to evaluate. It's no longer enough to be a good man. You have to be an entertaining one. Every dinner has to be an experience. Every text has to be clever. Every anniversary has to outdo the last. Romance has been inflated, and you're the one footing the bill, emotionally, financially, psychologically. Here's what they won't tell you. The women who are most desired rarely have to do anything. The men who are most desired rarely have to prove anything. Because real attraction isn't earned through tasks. It's triggered through presence, certainty, energy, boundaries. Romance culture hides that truth. Because if you knew that your value didn't depend on performance, the whole system would collapse. Jewelry stores, dating apps, Valentine's Day campaigns. All of it exists to keep you in chase mode, because chasing keeps you spending. Every ring, every rose, engineered to keep you hungry, not whole. The jewelry industry made $350 billion last year. Guess who paid for it? The same companies that sell you forever are banking on your insecurity lasting exactly that long. They don't want you to find love. They want you to keep proving it. Dating apps? They profit from your loneliness. The moment you stop swiping, stop upgrading, stop believing that the right algorithm will save you, their business model dies. Hollywood, every romantic comedy is a training manual for male compliance. The guy who gets the girl is always the one who sacrifices the most, endures the most, proves the most. They're not selling you love stories. They're selling you a blueprint for self-erasure. You are the product being harvested. But you're not here to be milked for your effort. You're here to wake up. Because once you see the myth, you can't unsee it. And once you stop buying in, everything changes. If you want to see how romance really works, don't look at love stories. Look at receipts. Walk into any jewelry store a week before Valentine's Day. You'll find men, not couples, lining up with anxious faces. They're not comparing meaning. They're comparing carrots. They're not wondering what she truly wants. They're asking, will this be enough? Enough to impress her. Enough to outdo her friends' boyfriends. Enough to not feel like a failure. Now step into a restaurant on an anniversary weekend. Who's planning the surprise? Who's triple-checking the reservation, timing the moment, stressing over the right words? It's not her. And it's not because women are lazy or unromantic. It's because the system was never designed to expect effort from both sides. It was built to make romance a performance that only men are expected to put on. You don't notice it at first. It feels natural, even noble. You want to show you care, but the longer you play the game, the clearer the pattern becomes. Every gesture becomes a requirement. Every surprise becomes a new standard. And what started as love turns into logistics. Even social media plays its part. A simple dinner isn't enough anymore. It has to be posted, filtered, and praised. Your relationship isn't just yours. It's a product, a spectacle, a scoreboard. And you're the one racking up points to stay relevant. The irony? Most women don't actually want all that. She might enjoy the attention, but that's not what makes her stay. That's not what makes her crave you. Because when romance becomes predictable, it stops being exciting. When giving becomes constant, it stops feeling special. Worse, it starts to feel transactional. That's what no one warns you about. That the more you try to be romantic, the more she starts to feel like a customer. Like you're selling something. Like your gestures have strings attached, even if they don't. And now you've lost the one thing that actually creates desire. Tension. Not conflict, but polarity. Not comfort, but mystery. You didn't mean to create a business deal, but that's what the system turned your love into. Romance, when overused, doesn't deepen connection. It dulls it. And in the lab of real life, that's the test most men keep failing, without ever knowing why. Here's where it gets dangerous. Not because the system is hidden, but because it's normalized. From the first moment you enter the dating world, the rules are already written. You just never signed the contract. You pursue. She decides. You plan. She reacts. You invest. She evaluates. This isn't a partnership. It's a scripted exchange where men are cast as the providers of experience and women as the judges of value. And the more you comply, the more you reinforce the script. But here's what's really happening underneath. That anxious man in the jewelry store, that worried boyfriend triple-checking reservations, that's not romance. That's a man who's forgotten what he's worth. You're taught to see effort as proof of love. You believe that if you just keep showing how much you care, one day she'll see your worth. But here's what they don't tell you. The lower you perform, the harder it becomes for her to see the man behind the performance. She doesn't fall for you. She falls for the version of you that's been edited for approval. That version is always available, always agreeable, always ready to give more than he gets. And while that might make you look like the perfect boyfriend, it never makes you feel like a man in control. Because you're not. You're playing a role that was never meant to empower you. Modern romance trains men to act like brands. You craft your image, you pitch your value, you manage perceptions, and when you finally get chosen, you assume you've won. But all you've earned is a seat at the table, where the performance continues. You now have to maintain the illusion. Remember every date, anticipate every mood, upgrade every gift, and God help you if you slip. Because in this system, love isn't based on connection, it's based on compliance. You're not loved for who you are, you're tolerated for what you provide. And the moment you stop delivering, the contract dissolves. That's the part most men don't see until it's too late. Until the affection fades. Until the tone shifts. Until the intimacy dries up. And they're left asking what went wrong. But nothing went wrong. The system worked exactly as designed. You were never chosen for your essence. You were selected for your service. And the only way to break out is to stop auditioning. Not with resentment, but with clarity. Because the moment you stop playing their script, you give her a chance to meet you. This isn't just about love, it's about power. And the biggest threat to your power is a system that convinces you to give it away voluntarily. The real opponent isn't women. It's not your ex. It's not modern dating apps. It's the invisible structure that rewards your obedience and punishes your clarity. The structure that praises you for being a good man while draining you of everything that makes you strong, assertive, grounded. You're not being attacked. You're being trained. Trained to think that your effort is your value. Trained to believe that sacrifice earns love. Trained to chase, to impress, to submit, then call it romance. But here's the problem. The more you play that game, the more you lose the very thing that makes you desirable. Desire isn't born from approval. It's born from polarity, from edge, from the sense that a man stands in his center and won't bend for validation. And yet, this system pushes you in the opposite direction. It softens you, tames you, turns you into a caretaker first, a man second. Remember that man on his knee from the beginning? Look at his eyes again. That's not love. That's a man who's been convinced his worth depends on her answer. And what does it cost? Let's count it. Your time, gone. Spent chasing someone who never truly saw you. Your money, poured into gifts, dinners, trips, gestures you thought would mean something. Your energy, wasted calculating how to stay interesting, romantic, entertaining. But worst of all, your identity. You begin to forget what you want, what you value, what you expect from a relationship. Because when you're always performing, there's no space left for your truth. That's the real price. It's not just about heartbreak, it's about self-erasure. You become a man who's always trying, always adjusting, always proving, until one day you look in the mirror and realize you have nothing left to prove to yourself. That's when it hits. You didn't just lose the girl, you lost your edge. And in a world that only respects men with boundaries, with backbone, with presence, that's the one thing you can't afford to lose. The system doesn't care. It will keep running. Unless you step out of it. Unless you draw the line. Because if you don't, you'll pay with your future, not just your feelings. So what now? You've seen the game. You've felt the cost. You're done being the one who gives, while silently wondering when it will finally feel like love. Good. That means you're ready to play by a different rule book. The first shift is simple. Stop acting like romance is the goal. It's not. Connection is. Romance can be a bonus, but it should never be your currency, because the moment you use it to buy affection, you've already lost your edge. Women might enjoy being pursued, but they crave something deeper. The presence of a man who doesn't need their approval to know who he is. That kind of man doesn't prove himself with flowers. He proves himself with clarity. He knows what he wants. He knows what he won't tolerate. He doesn't bend just to keep the peace or perform just to be liked. And because he doesn't overgive, what he does give actually means something. This is the new protocol. Presence before performance. Standards before seduction. Boundaries before bonding. You set the frame of the relationship. You define the pace. You don't try to be chosen. You choose. That doesn't mean you dominate. It means you lead. With groundedness, not aggression. If a woman pushes for more than you're ready to give, you don't panic. You pause. If she tests your limits, you don't negotiate from fear. You respond from principle. Because you're not here to win her over. You're here to see if she aligns. That subtle shift changes everything. You go from trying to impress to inviting her into your world, from needing her to choose you, to observing how she carries herself when she feels unearned access. Now, every gesture becomes intentional, not routine, not desperate, not habitual. You don't stop giving, you just give with backbone. And what you'll notice is this: when you stop chasing, the right women start respecting. When you stop performing, the real ones lean in. Not because you're doing more, but because you finally became real. That's the protocol most men were never taught. But once you run it, you stop being the product and start becoming the prize. Take a breath, because before you rewrite the rules, you have to rewrite the story you've been telling yourself. Not to the world, to you. Ask yourself, why did you buy into the romance script in the first place? Was it really about her happiness, or was it about your fear? The fear of not being wanted unless you're constantly giving. The fear that your love is an unlove isn't enough unless it hurts to give it. The fear that, without the performance, you'd be invisible. Sit with that for a second, because this isn't just about women, or dating, or strategy. It's about the part of you that believed you had to earn love by overextending yourself. The part of you that confused being chosen with being safe. The part that thought devotion would protect you from rejection. But real strength doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from finally seeing yourself clearly and choosing not to abandon who you are just to feel worthy. And maybe for the first time, you stop asking, what does she want from me? And start asking, what do I require from her? Not in bitterness, not in revenge, but in truth. Because connection isn't a prize she gives you. It's something you build together if she qualifies. You're not just a man, you're a filter. And if you've been letting anyone through just because they smile, laugh at your jokes, or say they love romance, then maybe it's time to raise the bar. Not to punish her, but to protect you, because you've spent enough time breaking yourself to fit someone else's idea of love. It's time to see who shows up when you stop shape-shifting. That's the soul check. Not just about how to act, but about who you choose to be when you finally stop performing. Because the truth is, the man who's willing to lose fake love is the only one who's ready for something real. And that brings us full circle. Back to that man on his knee. Back to where this all began. Remember where we started. A man on one knee. Applause. Love. They called it. But now you see the truth. What looked like devotion was often just desperation in disguise. Not love conditioning. Not connection compliance. This system wasn't built to honor men. It was built to tame them. To turn your giving into guilt. Your presence into performance. But now that you've stepped off that stage, the game changes. You're not asking to be chosen, you're doing the choosing. Not auditioning, but observing. Not chasing, but standing. Because real attraction doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from needing less. From bringing clarity, not apology. Presence, not performance. Romance isn't dead, but it's not your job to carry it alone. When it flows freely, it's sacred. When it's used to earn worth, it's poison. So lead with heart, but never with fear. Give, but never to prove. Love, but never to lose yourself. Because when you stop trying to be enough, you become the man who never had to try. The man who builds, not begs. Who embodies, not performs. You don't chase love, you command it. He's still out there on one knee, chasing a myth. But you're free. This is only the beginning. Follow for more truths they never taught us. This is only the beginning.